The Guild Wars 2 mess is continuing on. If you haven't followed along, check yesterday's video I made on the matter, but a TLDR of some sort is the developers of Guild Wars 2 ArenaNet fired 2 writers for acting unprofessional and being disrespectful to community members and an official partner. The 2 employees fired were Peter Fries and Jessica Price. Price is a well-known, outspoken game developer that advocates for diversity and inclusivity and a number of other issues in the gaming industry. Anyway, recently she started a Twitter thread offering insight into game development in which an ArenaNet partner, Doror, offered his perspective, disagreeing slightly with her opinion, but he did it in a very respectful manner. Price would then attack and mock this partner and then argue with other community members who are all acting, as far as I can tell, respectful. One user would offer their opinion in which Price would respond by saying, "F off my feed with your assumptions and your entitlement to my time." There are numerous other tweets like this, with another example being her saying, "Don't expect me to pretend to like you here. The attempts of fans to exert ownership over our personal lives and times are something I am hardcore about stopping. You don't own me, and I don't owe you." Pretty much Price would turn this into a gender issue eventually, trying to say women have to deal with toxic gamers constantly, although the problem with that remark is, in this specific situation, she was the one acting toxic by responding to an official partner of her company in an aggressive way. Peter Fries also comes into this because he backed up Price and tried saying something Price said, which was that these were their private accounts, although again Twitter is a public platform and you can easily make your account private if you wish to, but they didn't. Anyway, following this, ArenaNet fired both Fries and Price for their unprofessional behavior, which for some reason led to websites like BuzzFeed, The Verge, Kotaku, Polygon, and Rock Paper Shotgun making Price into a victim when she was the one acting like a bully. These websites and many journalists have since attacked ArenaNet for firing both of these writers, while also misreporting on the situation, with for one many of these sites like BuzzFeed and Kotaku leaving out key information like Price saying, "The next rando asshat who attempts to explain the concept of branching dialogue to me as if you know, having worked in the game narrative for a fucking decade, if I have never heard of it, is getting insta-blocked PSA." Many of these sites have also used random Reddit user comments saying anyone can and will be fired at ArenaNet if the hate mob wants them gone, which is an extreme reach. They have also included new comments from Price, who is trying to play the victim card, blaming other toxic gamers for why she lashed out at someone who previously complimented her in a live stream.
Like, this was the perfect time to kill him off, because we needed something more. I love Jessica Price's responses. She is like the god of fucking AMAs. Like, she just gives great answers all the way through. It's absolutely amazing to read through.
Anyway, that is where we are, and still Price or Fries have not at all apologized. But recently, Randy Pitchford, the CEO of Gearbox Software, chimed in. And if you're unaware, Randy is a bit of a controversial guy who's a little too vocal. Like, in the past, he's tried defending the mess that was Aliens Colonial Marines, and he also weirdly lied about how his company was named. Anyway, Randy Pitchford stated the following about the ArenaNet situation. He would quote an article done by Game Informer and say, "Just read this, and if Jessica Price and Peter Fries were part of the family at Gearbox, I and we would have gotten their backs." A Twitter user would point out that Price has a record of making unfortunate remarks, like her tweet following the passing of John Bain or Total Biscuit, and Randy would respond saying, "Change subject much? ArenaNet did not cite that in their decision. Clearly ArenaNet was cool with that because they did not fire her then." The Twitter user Brad would fire back saying the subject was her social media usage. Maybe they just became aware of that tweet with the recent controversy. Either way, she publicly celebrated the death of Total Biscuit. People talk about toxic gamers all the time. She seems to be a toxic developer. And Pitchford would again respond saying maybe, but I would suspect that ArenaNet knows them much better than you. 2 days ago they were happy with them as employees. After tweets, they're not happy with them as employees. Given that information alone, I would never never work for ArenaNet. A different user would respond to Randy's original comment of support of both Price and Fries, saying, "Pathetic. No one in their right mind would have bullies represent their company. They got what they deserved." And Pitchford would respond saying, "I did not see bullying. However, that you would campaign for someone to lose their job over those Twitter posts is evidence that you might be a bully," which I have to say makes absolutely no sense at all. If you actually follow this situation and don't read the biased pieces coming from most of the game's media, it's clear that Price acted like a bully. Pitchford has been extremely active answering people's responses. The next one we have is a user saying, "I'm not involved in development, but as a business owner, if my employee responded to any of our customers in that way while discussing business, they would absolutely be shown the door." And Pitchford would come back with, "What's your business? Game development is really hard. The best work comes from people who would build up trust through working together over many years. It's technical plus creative and really hard. Teams that learns each other's strengths and weaknesses get stronger. Although attacking your partners and community kind of is a bit of a problem, and we've seen other corporations do similar things with people making unfortunate comments. It's their decision. Should they have been fired? That's debatable. And should it have been publicly announced? Again, that's debatable, but either way, this company did not want to be associated with these writers anymore, and that's that." Randy Pitchford does eventually acknowledge that some of the other stuff posted before by Price is horrible, saying there's space between okay and "you're fired. Since I posted that, some people have shared other things she has done before that, in my opinion, are a zillion times worse than her behavior on July 4th. That said, generally you want to coach, lead, and rally around the family." Now the last comment I'll bring up is a user including an example saying, "Imagine if she was a McDonald's worker off the clock but still in uniform, berating customers in the car park where she worked to the point people started avoiding the restaurant because of it. I'm sorry, but you can't do things like that and not expect consequences." And Randy would respond with, "Imagine if the moon were made of cheese." Either way, another tweet that was dug up shows Jessica Price actually addressing the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech, in which she reacts saying first only protects against government censorship. Social/financial consequences are free speech working as intended. And you know what? This comment made last year is spot on. Either way, Randy Pitchford seems to be clueless and making excuses, which honestly, that's kind of how Randy always acts. Many gamers though have not taken a liking to Pitchford's comments, saying they'll avoid and pass on Borderlands 3, which currently Gearbox Software is developing, which probably isn't the first or last time gamers say that, as Randy Pitchford seems to always say the wrong things. But I have to believe this situation is coming to an end, at least for now, but seeing how biased most of the games media is extremely scary. I've seen many other YouTubers share a similar perspective to mine, but if I go to Twitter, it's almost a completely different story, with tons of journalists currently attacking ArenaNet. Anyway, what do you make of Randy's comments on this matter? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video or found any informative value, and consider subscribing for more content like this, and I'll see you later.